Have you ever looked around at your friends, your neighbors, or even in the mirror and wondered, why do some people age so gracefully while others seem to struggle with every step? It's one of the most common yet unspoken questions as we grow older. And the truth is, aging doesn't look the same for everyone. It never has. Some people even well into their 80s continue to walk briskly, remember every detail from yesterday's dinner, sleep through the night peacefully, and carry grocery bags like it's nothing. Others, meanwhile, begin to slow down, avoid stairs, lean heavily when standing, and quietly accept that they're just getting old. But what if I told you, much of what we assume is normal aging isn't actually inevitable? What if decline isn't written in stone, but instead in how we live each day? You see, science and real-life stories are revealing something powerful. There are certain physical and mental abilities that if you still have them past 80 signal something extraordinary. You're not just surviving the aging process, you're actually aging in reverse in the ways that truly matter. In this video, we're going to uncover 8 specific actions, simple everyday things that most 80-year-olds quietly lose over time, but that you might still be doing. And if you are, it means your body, your mind, and your resilience are still deeply alive. These signs aren't about lifting weights at the gym or running marathons. They're about your ability to move, think, and live independently on your terms. They reflect strength, balance, and deep cellular vitality. More importantly, they show that aging doesn't have to mean giving up. It can mean becoming more aware, more in tune, and more powerful in ways society often overlooks. So whether you're 60, 70, or already into your 80s, I invite you to stay with me. Because what we're about to explore could change how you view your own strength and inspire you to protect it. Up next, we begin with the very first sign. It may seem simple at first glance, but it's actually where decline quietly begins for many. Can you still stand up from a chair without using your hands? Let's find out. It might sound like a simple thing. Standing up from a chair, how hard could it be? You've done it thousands of times, but here's the truth. This one small movement is often the very first place where aging quietly begins to show itself. Why? Because standing up from a seated position without using your hands isn't just about willpower. It's a full-body coordination test. It involves your quadriceps, glutes, core muscles, balance, and posture all working together in harmony. When one system begins to weaken, this everyday action starts to feel harder. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 82 years old and used to feel pretty good about her health. But one morning while getting up from the breakfast table, she noticed something. She instinctively grabbed the edge of the table and leaned forward to push herself up. It felt small, almost nothing at the time. But over the next few weeks, she found herself doing it more and more, relying on her arms to rise. Then it happened. One morning she stumbled while getting out of bed. Nothing broke, thankfully, but the fall shook her. She realized what had been quietly slipping away her leg strength. Eleanor decided not to let that moment define her. She began doing simple seated leg lifts followed by wall squats, holding onto a chair for support. 10 minutes a day. No fancy equipment, no gym. Within 3 weeks, she could stand up without using her hands again, and she smiled every time she did. You see, this one movement is more than just a motion. It's a marker of independence. When your legs can carry your weight without assistance, it means your muscles are active, your joints are mobile, and your balance is intact. And most importantly, it means you're still able to trust your body. Many older adults lose this ability gradually. It doesn't happen overnight. First, they need a little push from the armrest, then a little lean forward, then one day they find themselves struggling to rise at all. So here's your quick self-check. Sit in a standard chair, feet flat on the floor, arms crossed or resting on your lap. Now, without using your hands, try to stand up smoothly. Can you do it? If yes, congratulations. You're holding on to something powerful. Functional leg strength, which is closely tied to fall prevention, independence, and even longevity. And here's a little challenge. Try to notice how often you use your hands throughout the day to stand. Awareness is the first step to improvement. Coming up next, we'll move from strength to stamina. Because how fast you walk, yes, your walking speed might actually predict how long you'll live. Let's explore that surprising connection in the next section. Most of us don't think much about how we walk. After all, we've been doing it our whole lives. But as we age, the way we walk, and more importantly, how fast we walk, can quietly reveal how well our body's holding up. In fact, research from institutions like the University of Pittsburgh and the Mayo Clinic has shown that walking speed is one of the most reliable predictors of longevity in older adults. People who walk faster tend to live longer, remain independent longer, and even recover more quickly from illness. Why is that? Because walking briskly requires a coordinated effort between your heart, lungs, muscles, and nervous system. When you move with purpose at a steady, upbeat pace, it means your cardiovascular system is strong, your lungs are delivering oxygen efficiently, and your muscles are still capable of sustaining rhythmic motion. It's a full-body performance even if it doesn't look like it. Let me introduce you to Leonard, 79. He had always been an active guy, walked every morning, kept up with the yard work. But then one day he noticed something strange. He couldn't make it around the block without stopping to catch his breath. "I thought I was just being cautious," he said. But the truth was, I had started slowing down without realizing it. That moment was a wake-up call. So Leonard began rebuilding one small step at a time. First, he walked to his mailbox a little faster. Then he circled the block. Then 2 blocks. And within a few weeks, not only had his pace improved, but so had his energy, posture, and confidence. Here's a simple test you can do right now. Pick a hallway, sidewalk, or driveway about 20 feet long. Walk it as if you're late for an appointment. Not running, but walking with urgency. Did you finish it without needing to pause, gasp for breath, or feel unsteady? If yes, you're doing better than many your age. That ability to move with purpose and endurance says so much more than people think. It means your internal engine, your heart, lungs, muscles is still firing on all cylinders. And perhaps even more importantly, it suggests you're still connected to life in motion. Walking fast isn't just a physical feat, it reflects mental energy, independence, and motivation. So don't underestimate your daily walks. They're not just habits, they're markers of health. And if you're still walking briskly, keep it up. That steady rhythm is one of the most powerful signals that you're not just aging, you're thriving. Next, we'll shift from motion to balance. Because one of the first signs of declining coordination isn't how fast you move, it's whether you can stay still on one foot. Let's find out how your body responds when challenged. Think back to when you were a kid, maybe playing hopscotch or standing on one leg just to prove you could. It seemed easy then. But now as we age, balance becomes one of the first and most telling signs of how well our brain and body are still working together. Being able to stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds without wobbling or holding on to anything might not sound like much, but it's actually a powerful indicator of overall neurological and physical health. This movement calls upon your inner ear, vision, leg muscles, reflexes, and brain coordination all at once. When one of these systems begins to weaken, balance is often the first thing to go. And unfortunately, most people don't notice it until a misstep leads to a fall, sometimes with serious consequences. Let me tell you about Judith. She's 81 years old, always kept herself busy around the house. But one morning while brushing her teeth, she realized she was leaning heavily on the bathroom sink. Just to stay upright. She decided to test herself, lifting one foot just a few inches. Within seconds, she had to grab the counter. That moment scared her. Not because she fell, but because she realized how close she was to falling every day without even knowing it. But Judith didn't panic. Instead, she started training her balance. Every morning while brushing her teeth, she practiced lifting one foot for a few seconds first, with support, then gradually without. Within a month, she could stand for 10 seconds on either foot, confidently, without needing to hold on. Her posture improved. So did her confidence. Here's a quick challenge for you. Stand next to a counter or sturdy chair. Gently lift one foot a few inches off the ground. Can you hold that position without leaning or grabbing anything for 10 seconds? If yes, congratulations. You're doing better than many adults your age. In fact, studies from Japan and Brazil have found that older adults who can maintain single-leg balance for 10 seconds or more are significantly less likely to suffer falls or functional decline. Because balance isn't just about staying upright, it's about staying engaged, aware, and responsive. It shows your nervous system is sharp, your reflexes are fast, and your muscles are still cooperating. And here's the beautiful part: balance, like strength, can be rebuilt at any age. It just takes a few seconds of practice each day and the willingness to stay steady. If you're standing strong, keep at it. But don't wait until balance slips away to notice it's gone. Up next, we're heading to the floor, literally. Because the ability to get down on the ground and back up again without help is one of the clearest signs of full-body resilience. Let's see how your body responds to the challenge. It's something children do without a second thought, sitting on the floor, crawling around, popping back up again. But for many older adults, just thinking about getting down to the floor and especially getting back up can bring on anxiety. And that's exactly why this is such a powerful indicator of health. Your ability to move confidently from standing to the floor and back up again says a lot about your strength, balance, flexibility, coordination, and courage. As we age, we tend to avoid the floor, not because we don't want to sit there, but because we're unsure if we can get back up. That fear leads to avoidance, and avoidance slowly leads to stiffness, weakness, and loss of mobility. Let me share the story of Frank, 83. One sunny afternoon, his great-granddaughter asked him to play a board game on the living room rug. Frank hesitated, not because he didn't want to play, but because deep down he wasn't sure he could get back up without someone pulling him to his feet. That hesitation stuck with him. Later that evening, he stood beside his bed and practiced kneeling. The next day, he tried lowering himself to the floor with the support of a chair. Slowly, day by day, he trained his muscles doing seated squats, gentle kneeling drills, and core strengthening movements. Within a few weeks, Frank could get down and back up again without help. And more importantly, he could say yes again to the little joys in life. You might not realize it, but the floor represents freedom. It's where you stretch, play with your grandkids, retrieve something that fell, or even get into a better position to recover from a stumble. Here's a simple test. Stand near a stable chair. Slowly lower yourself to the floor in a controlled motion. Once seated, try to rise without grabbing for something or needing someone's hand. Can you do it confidently? If yes, you're in rare company. Studies from Brazil and Europe have shown that the ability to sit and rise from the floor unassisted is closely linked with longer life expectancy and reduced risk of fall-related injury. This motion requires total body harmony, strong legs, flexible hips, good balance, and the confidence to trust your body. And here's the best part: even if you can't do it today, you can work toward it. Like Frank, all it takes is small steps. So next time you're near the floor, don't fear it, train for it. Every time you rise is a reminder that your body still remembers how to move. In the next part, we'll shift from rising to lifting, because your ability to carry something as simple as a full grocery bag might be telling you more about your vitality than you ever realized. Let's explore why that matters. At first glance, carrying a bag of groceries might seem like a simple task, but in reality, this everyday action is a full-body test, a quiet indicator of your muscle strength, grip, joint, health, posture, coordination, and endurance. As we get older, muscle mass naturally decreases, especially in the arms, shoulders, and upper back. This process, known as sarcopenia, is one of the most common age-related changes. It doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks up gradually until one day, the bag that used to feel light now feels just a little too heavy. That's exactly what happened to Walter, 80. For decades, he had taken pride in carrying all his groceries from the car in one trip. No help, no problem. But over time, he noticed himself shifting the bag awkwardly, pausing halfway up the stairs, even wincing when lifting it from the trunk. He told himself, "I'm just tired today." But the pattern didn't go away. Instead of accepting the decline, Walter decided to act. He started doing grip strength exercises like squeezing a tennis ball during TV commercials. Then he added light dumbbell curls and wall push-ups to his morning routine. Nothing intense, just 10-15 minutes a day. Within weeks, he felt stronger and, more importantly, more capable. Carrying groceries became easy again. He didn't just regain strength, he regained confidence. Carrying something like a grocery bag might seem small, but it requires your arms, shoulders, spine, core, and legs to work in harmony. It also puts pressure on your cardiovascular and respiratory systems, meaning your heart and lungs must support the effort. If you're still able to lift and carry a full grocery bag without shifting your weight, gasping for breath, or needing to stop and rest, you're not just strong, you're functionally strong. And that kind of strength is what helps you maintain your independence, whether it's doing errands, carrying laundry, or simply living life on your own terms. Want to test it? Grab a medium-weight bag around 10-15 pounds. Carry it from one room to another or up a short flight of stairs. Can you do it without discomfort or imbalance? If yes, take a moment to appreciate that. It means your muscles, joints, and lungs are still cooperating beautifully. And just like walking or balancing, strength can be built even after 70 or 80. It's never too late to start using lightweight resistance bands or even just your own body weight to stay strong. So the next time you bring in the groceries, don't just see it as a chore, see it as a signal, a sign that your body is still ready, still responsive, and still strong. Coming up next, we'll take on one of the toughest everyday tests of resilience, stair climbing. Because if you can still go up a full flight of stairs without stopping, your heart and lungs may be younger than you think. Let's find out. There's a reason doctors often use stair climbing as a quick health check. It's simple yet brutally honest. Stairs don't lie. Going up a flight of stairs 10 to 12 steps tests nearly every major system in your body. Your legs, lungs, heart balance, coordination, and even mental focus all play a role. If you can climb stairs without pausing to catch your breath, grabbing the railing for support, or feeling unsteady, it says something powerful: your internal systems are still in sync. Let's talk about Irene, 82. After a minor fall 2 years ago, she stopped using stairs entirely. Elevators became her norm. Then one weekend while visiting her daughter's house, she realized the only bathroom was upstairs. Halfway up, she had to stop, heart pounding, breath short, legs shaking. She felt embarrassed and a little scared. But instead of avoiding stairs even more, Irene made a decision. She began training with just 3 steps at a time, holding on to the railing. Slowly, she increased to 5, then a full flight. She added breathing exercises to build stamina and leg-strengthening routines like step-ups and mini lunges. After just a few weeks, she could climb an entire staircase without stopping and without fear. Here's why that matters. Stair climbing is a compound movement. Each step upward requires powerful leg extension, steady balance, oxygen delivery, and cardiac output. If any part of that system is weak, you'll feel it almost immediately. Try this. Find a safe set of stairs in your home or nearby. Climb one full flight at a comfortable pace. Were you able to do it without stopping, without grabbing the railing, without losing your breath? If yes, that's a strong sign that your lungs are still providing oxygen efficiently, your heart is pumping well, and your muscles are supporting you effectively. It also means your risk of disability, hospitalization, or sudden decline is significantly lower than average for your age. And just like the other signs we've talked about, this skill can be trained and improved. Even if you've avoided stairs for a while, you can start with just a few steps a day, safely, slowly, and with confidence. So next time you climb stairs, don't curse them, celebrate them. They're not just steps. They're a sign that your body is still climbing, still rising, still full of vitality. Now, what about your memory? In the next section, we'll shift from physical strength to mental clarity and explore why remembering conversations and recent events is one of the most powerful indicators of a brain that's aging well. Let's dive into it. We often talk about strength, balance, and movement when it comes to aging well. But what about memory? Your ability to remember a recent phone call, what you had for dinner last night, or what a friend said during last week's visit isn't just a sign of being sharp. It's a powerful indicator that your brain is still active, healthy, and deeply engaged with life. You see, many people assume that memory loss is an unavoidable part of getting older. And yes, some forgetfulness is normal. Everyone occasionally misplaces their keys or forgets a name. But when your brain can consistently recall recent details, it means something deeper. Your neurons are firing, your blood flow is strong, and your cognitive systems are well connected. Let me tell you about Howard. He's 84, quiet by nature, but known in his family for having a steel trap memory. He remembers birthdays, anniversaries, and even the names of classmates from 70 years ago. But what impresses his grandchildren most is that he always remembers what they talked about, every detail from week to week. When asked how he keeps his mind so sharp, Howard smiles and says, "I stay curious. I read the newspaper every morning. I play chess online. I ask questions. I don't let my brain go idle." And he's absolutely right. Memory, like muscle, improves with use. Activities like reading, writing, playing games, talking with friends, and learning new skills stimulate your brain, encourage neuroplasticity, and help preserve short-term and working memory well into your 80s and beyond. Here's a simple self-check. Think back to yesterday's meals. Can you recall what you ate? What shirt did you wear 2 days ago? What was the last show you watched or conversation you had? If you can answer easily, that's not just good for your age. That's excellent for any age. And it's not just about recalling trivia. Clear memory supports your independence, safety relationships, and sense of self. It helps you stay connected to the world around you and the people in it. So don't take your mental clarity for granted. Nourish it, use it, protect it. Because when your brain remembers, your life stays deeply rooted in the present, and the people around you can feel that connection. Coming up next, we'll move from mental clarity to deep rest. Because few things reveal more about your overall health than how you sleep and how you feel when you wake. Let's explore what good sleep really says about your aging body. We often think of sleep as something passive, just what happens when the day is over. But the truth is, sleep is one of the most powerful healing processes your body goes through every single night. If you're over 60 or even over 80 and still waking up most mornings, feeling clear-headed, steady, and ready to start your day, that's more than just good luck. It's a sign of deep internal health. During sleep, your body performs critical functions. Your brain flushes out toxins and consolidates memory. Your cells repair themselves, your immune system resets, your hormones balance out. Good sleep is closely tied to heart health, cognitive sharpness, emotional well-being, and even longevity. On the other hand, poor sleep, especially if it's chronic, can accelerate aging, raise the risk of depression, memory decline, and cardiovascular issues. Let me share the story of Ruth. She's 86 years old and had started waking up groggy, needing naps throughout the day and feeling off without knowing why. Her doctor ran all the usual tests, but nothing seemed wrong. Then one small change made a huge difference. Ruth started dimming her lights an hour before bed. She turned off the TV after dinner, swapped screen time for light reading, and opened her curtains in the morning to let natural light in. Within 2 weeks, her sleep quality transformed. She slept through the night, woke up more energized, and her mood and memory improved right alongside it. Ruth didn't need medication, she needed rhythm. Here's how you can check in with yourself. Do you fall asleep within 30 minutes most nights? Do you wake only once or twice, or not at all? Do you wake up naturally without feeling like you've been hit by a truck? If your answer is yes to most of those, that's a very strong sign. It means your nervous system is calm, your hormones are balanced, and your body is still healing efficiently overnight. And remember, just like strength and balance, restorative sleep is something you can improve no matter your age. Gentle nighttime routines, exposure to morning sunlight, limiting caffeine after noon, and creating a calm bedroom environment can make a world of difference. So if you wake up feeling refreshed, take it as a message from your body. I'm still working. I'm still strong. I'm still here. In our final section, we'll bring everything together with one last reflection on what these 8 signs truly mean for your life, your strength, and your journey ahead. Let's wrap it up with a message of hope, purpose, and possibility. If you've made it this far, take a deep breath and reflect. We've just walked through 8 simple, powerful signs, movements, moments, and abilities that most people over 80 slowly lose. Not all at once, not with warning, just gradually, quietly, until one day something that once felt easy suddenly feels impossible. But if you still recognize yourself in even a few of these signs, if you're still climbing stairs, walking briskly, remembering conversations, or sleeping through the night, then hear this clearly. You are not just aging. You are aging well. You are aging with strength, presence, and intention. And that is no small thing. Because so much of what we accept as normal aging is actually disuse, not dysfunction. It's the result of moving less, lifting, less balancing, less sleeping poorly, not because we must, but because we're told to expect decline. We're told that's just how it goes. But what if that narrative is wrong? What if aging doesn't have to mean shrinking, fading, or stepping back from life? What if, at least in the ways that matter most, aging could mean becoming more aware, more capable, more connected to yourself than ever before? Every sign we talked about, standing up from a chair, walking with strength, getting down to the floor, carrying a bag, remembering clearly, they all point to something deeper, that your body and mind are still very much alive and still responsive to how you treat them. And here's the good news. Even if you struggled with one or many of these signs, it's never too late. Muscles can rebuild, balance can be retrained, memory can sharpen, purpose can return, sleep can heal. What matters most is that you begin, that you choose not to let time or fear write your story, that you decide today to take one small step forward, whether it's standing taller, walking farther, sleeping deeper, or simply believing in your own strength again. Because the journey of aging in reverse isn't about looking younger. It's about feeling alive. It's about staying connected. It's about not giving up on your body, your mind, or your life. So if this video spoke to you, if even one of these signs reminded you of your own hidden strength, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone you care about, and let us know in the comments which sign are you proudest to still have, or which one are you going to work on starting today, because your words could inspire someone else to try again. And your presence here right now, it matters more than you know. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep rising. Because growing older doesn't mean fading. Sometimes it means rising higher than ever before.